Look around you next time you get a chance. From a corporate office conference room to a local neighborhood cafe, there are always certain people who command the room the moment they step in. People literally clear a path for them. They get instant respect without saying a single word. On the flip side, some people can stand around for hours and remain completely invisible. Since childhood, we've been fed a comforting, innocent lie. Don't judge a book by its cover. We are taught that a person's character matters more than their clothes, and that humility is the ultimate virtue. But want to know the truth? In the brutal game of human psychology, that lie is total garbage. The cold, hard truth of the world is that people treat you exactly how you look. Your posture, your grooming, and your outfit. It takes a stranger's brain just 3 seconds to calculate your worth. If you look weak, the world will squeeze you dry. If you carry yourself like a victim, people will exploit you. If you look broke, you will get treated like a nobody. Welcome to the hidden psychology of appearance. Today, we are diving deep into Robert Greene's Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. Unlocking the insights most average people never see. We are tearing down the curtain of false humility and learning how to dominate someone else's mind without having millions in your bank account. This isn't about buying luxury brands. This is a strategy to turn your image into a weapon. Why does this happen? It all comes down to a psychological phenomenon known as the halo effect. This is a mental shortcut where our subconscious mind sees one positive trait in a person and automatically assumes all their other traits are just as incredible. If someone looks sharp, clean, and authoritative, your brain immediately assumes they must be smart, trustworthy, and successful. Let's look at an example. Imagine a guy walking into a room wearing a perfectly tailored jacket, a fresh haircut, and a body language dripping with confidence. Before he even opens his mouth, your brain concludes that this man's time is incredibly valuable. Now picture the opposite. A guy walks in slouching, wearing baggy, slightly dingy clothes, looking like he's apologizing just for existing. The world will walk right over him. At our core, humans are still the same ancient social creatures looking for status cues. The king of the jungle never has to roar to prove he's the king. His stride and his physical presence establish his status. Your appearance is a visual resume that you hand out to everyone without saying a word. If that resume looks low value, you've lost the game before it even starts. A lot of people fall into the trap of thinking that looking average or sloppy makes them seem more moral or humble. They think, I don't need to dress up to impress anyone, my work speaks for itself. Robert Greene points out that this is a servant's mindset, not a master's. Law 34 dictates that how you carry yourself determines how you will be treated. If you look like a mess, the world will treat you like garbage. Being broke is a temporary financial state, but looking helpless and needy is a psychological disease. It signals to the world that you've given up, that you don't respect yourself, and worst of all, that you are an easy target. When your look screams that you have nothing, you invite predators. Your boss will lowball your salary, people will cross your boundaries, and strangers will disrespect you. Your appearance gave them permission to do it. To understand this dark art, let's flip back to a historical story that will blow your mind. Back in 19th century Europe, there was a man named Beau Brummell. He didn't come from a wealthy family, he didn't have a massive bank account, and he held no political power. Yet he became the most influential man in London's high society. Wealthy aristocrats and dukes literally trembled at his judgment. How did he pull it off? Brummell understood human psychology. While the wealthy elite of that era wore heavy clothes dripping with gold and diamonds to flaunt their cash, Brummell chose the exact opposite path. He weaponized simplicity and perfection. His coats were dark and flawlessly tailored. His shirt collars were always spotlessly clean, and his boots were polished to a mirror shine. He carried himself with absolute superiority. He didn't wear wealth, he wore discipline. He created such a powerful illusion of high status that genuinely wealthy people felt insecure around him. The Prince of Wales would spend hours in Brummell's dressing room just to watch how he tied his cravat. Brummell brought the most powerful people of his time to their knees, not by showing off a bank account, but by maintaining a look so flawless that no one could find a single defect in it. The takeaway for us today is clear. Never look poor doesn't mean walking around covered in massive luxury brand logos. Those loud logos actually scream insecurity. They make it look like someone is trying way too hard to look rich. True power comes down to three things: immaculate grooming, perfect fit, and unapologetic self-respect. If you want to eliminate low-value signals, start with grooming. You could be wearing an inexpensive shirt, but if your haircut is sharp, your face is clean, your nails are manicured, and your cologne is professional, you will look far more powerful than a guy in a $1,000 suit who looks like a total mess. Grooming proves you take care of yourself. When you neglect yourself, others notice and assume you aren't worth respecting either. Second, the fit. Baggy, oversized, sagging clothes are the uniform of defeated souls. They signal that you don't care about the details. And in this game, details are everything. A cheap shirt that is perfectly tailored to your shoulders and body will look like $1,000,000, but a designer shirt that hangs off you like a trash bag will make you look like a joke. You don't need to be rich, you need to be strategic. This entire concept operates on the as-if principle. You have to walk, stand, and sit as if you are already the person you want to become. This isn't about faking it, it's about broadcasting your future reality in advance. When you look your absolute best, even on days you feel totally broken inside, you create a psychological conflict. Your brain looks in the mirror and thinks, wait, if I look like a boss, I must be a boss. Your body chemistry shifts. Straightening your posture instantly boosts your confidence levels. You trick yourself out of a scarcity mindset. More importantly, you hack the minds of everyone else. When you walk into a job interview, a business meeting, or a negotiation looking incredibly sharp, you set a high benchmark for your value. People will hesitate to lowball you just based on how you look. Appearance isn't just about clothing, it's about occupying space. People with a broke mindset shrink themselves, crossing their arms, burying their faces in their phones, avoiding eye contact. If you want to stand out, walk like you own the place. Shoulders back, chest open, with your eyes on the horizon, not the ground. Hold eye contact just a fraction of a second longer than normal. That subtle dominance shows you are completely secure. If you still think this is just superficial vanity, you are severely underestimating how the human brain is hardwired. Let me share another unbelievable true story. In 1906, in Berlin, Germany, there was a completely broke, homeless shoemaker named Wilhelm Voigt. He was a total failure in the eyes of society, had a criminal record, and had zero future. But he understood a dark truth. People don't respect the person. They respect the uniform. They respect the look of authority. He scraped together some money and bought a second-hand military captain's uniform, and the pieces didn't even match perfectly. He put it on, adjusted his posture, and stepped out onto the street. The moment he put on that uniform, the world changed. The very people who looked down on him the day before were suddenly saluting him. Walking down the street, he stopped a group of active soldiers and ordered them to follow him. Those soldiers followed his orders without asking a single question, simply because he looked like a captain. He marched them straight to the local town hall, arrested the mayor, and took control of the entire city treasury. He took over a whole town, not with a weapon, but with the power of appearance. We are conditioned to look for visual cues that tell us who is in charge. If a broke man can disrupt a city using a second-hand coat, Imagine what you can achieve by mastering your daily visual signals. You need to turn your appearance into your personal armor. When you are going through your worst moments, when your bank account is at zero, that is exactly when you need to dress your best. Build a fortress of visual perfection that no one can breach. If you look defeated, the sharks will circle. But if you look untouchable, people will assume you are in total control, and eventually, you will start believing it too. Let's wrap up with color psychology. The human brain naturally connects dark colors, black, navy blue, charcoal gray, with authority and seriousness. These colors create a sharp contrast with your environment, forcing people to focus on your face and your words rather than your clothes. But the most ruthless rule of all is consistency. You cannot look like royalty on Monday and a total slob on Tuesday. If you look amazing one day and completely lazy the next, people will realize your style is just a costume, not your reality. Don't wait until you are successful to start dressing the part. Success comes to those who already look the part. Look in the mirror today and ask yourself a tough question. Does the person looking back look like a victim or a master? Cut out the cheap signals, fix your posture, and step into the uniform of your future self. The world will naturally clear a path for you. If you are ready to weaponize your appearance, let me know in the comments below. What is the one detail you are going to change today? If you want to master Robert Greene's psychological strategies and practical laws, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Until next time, stay sharp and never look poor.